this White House is still dealing with that bombshell of announcement, something they were blindsided on, they didn't know about. They got about a 20, 30 minutes heads up that the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein was naming this special counsel, former FBI Director Robert Mueller. Mueller is someone who has just been highly praised on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. They like this pick. They believe that he's going to get to the bottom of any potential, any criminal acts that may have happened. They believe that Mueller's going to get to the bottom of it. And so what we're hearing from the White House is don't expect the president, don't expect this White House to comment pretty much essentially any more on this Russia investigation and say, hey, look, it's under investigation by a special counsel, someone the president did not pick, someone the president did not, obviously choose to continue this investigation. And so we all know what happened, at the beginning of the week, which is headline after headline of the president with these Comey memos to highly classified information to the Russians. And so it was Rosenstein who believed that Mueller should come into this special counsel. And Rosenstein says, look, just because I appoint this special counsel does not mean that I believe that there was criminal wrongdoing or that there needs to be prosecution in this investigation.
First of all, Kenneth, do we know how long this is going to take?
Good question. We're hearing, get this, 1 to 2 years this could take. Remember, Mueller's coming in pretty much and starting from scratch, essentially. Obviously, there's been an investigation that's been happening since the summer, at least. And we know that he's going to come in with his own resources, his own team, and he is pretty much has the power. Subpoena power. He has the power to go after whatever leads he finds and his team finds. And so because they're coming into this, pretty much starting from scratch, looking at everything that's on the table, we're told that this could take anywhere from a year to 2 years, which will put us right around the midterm elections.
What about James Comey was rumored to be asked to testify in front of Congress? Where does that stand with this news?
We've got about 3 committees at this point, including the powerful Judiciary Committee that wants Comey to sit on Capitol Hill, sit in the hot seat and testify to tell them what he knows. Do these memos exist? We've already heard South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham say, look, I don't want to hear about any reports from the New York Times, the Washington Post about these memos. If Comey has something to say, he needs to sit down in that seat and say it to us at Congress.
Is he going to say it in private or in public?
He's going to say it in public, I believe. And that's because the pressure is mounting, and obviously they've got subpoena power. The investigations that are happening in Congress, they've got the power to have Comey come and testify. And I believe Comey, as a public servant who has served as the FBI director, who has been someone, as proponents will say, has been an outstanding FBI director in light of the missteps or what was seen as missteps last summer with the Clinton investigation. They believe that Comey will still serve as that public servant and sit in that seat and say what he can say. Obviously, just like we saw with Sally Yates, the former acting attorney general, who said, look, there are some things about the investigation I cannot talk about. When it comes to these memos, that may be something the president can talk about. Comey can talk about.
Yeah. Kenneth, last question. It seems like 6 months ago, last Sunday, there was sort of no stomach for or no need for a special counsel. Was there a final straw that ultimately they said, look, we've got to get this out of our hands and into a special prosecutor?
I believe that it's directly tied to all the headlines you saw this week, where the New York Times report, the Washington Post reports about the memo that Comey wrote saying that the president essentially asked him to put the kibosh on the Flynn investigation, the retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, former National Security Advisor. That memo, that headline came out. And then obviously the report about the highly classified information given to the Russians in the Oval Office, the president obviously saying that he had the absolute right to do so. But when you have those headlines coming out, I think special counsel, and as soon as Comey also was fired, that's when we're told that Rosenstein really started to delve into this. Maybe we need a special counsel. And so we for weeks we heard special prosecutor. Prosecutors actually called special counsel. And there are still some Republicans on Capitol who say they believe there should not be a special counsel, that they believe that the current folks at the FBI can handle this. But they're still across the board praising this decision to announce special counsel Robert Mueller.
Kenneth Moton, ABC News correspondent. Great job. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
625, Big 550.